Elanco is a company appraising an investment project to purchase and operate a hotel. The hotel will offer basic accommodation, including its own restaurant, mainly for the business traveler market. The hotel will be operated for a 4-year period and then sold at the end of year 4. A suitable property has been located costing $5.5 million but will require new fittings which are expected to cost an additional 1.5 million. It is expected that once the property is purchased, the fittings can be installed quickly so that the new hotel will be ready for business almost immediately after purchase. The hotel will have 50 rooms and be open for 365 days a year. So room occupancy percentage is here 50%, 60%, 75%, and 90%. Okay. The daily room rate will be $85 for the first year and then increase by 6% per year afterwards. Restaurant revenue would be equivalent to 35% of the accommodation revenue. Okay. Variable costs are expected to be equivalent to 20% of the total revenue. Incremental fixed costs are expected to be 443,000 for the first year and then increase by 4% per year afterwards. Okay. Elanco pays corporation tax at 20% per year and the tax is paid at the same year to which it relates. The purchase of property is not eligible for tax relief, but the fittings will be eligible for tax allowable depreciation at 25% per year on a reducing balance basis. Working capital is equivalent to 5% of the total revenue and will be required at the start of each year. Working capital will be released at the end of the expected sale value of the property at the end of year 4 is expected to be 7.5 million after tax and the fixtures will be sold for an additional 100,000. The real after tax cost of capital for the project is 4.8% and the rate of inflation is expected to be constant at 5% per year. Elanco has never operated a hotel before, which has made the estimation of the above assumptions difficult. Also, inflation has been volatile in the country in which Elanco is undertaking the project. So, let's do the first calculation. Using a nominal terms approach, calculate the net present value of the project and comment on its financial acceptability. Okay. So, yeah, shall I make this like this? Why is this? What's wrong with this? So, initially, we have to calculate the monada, the sales. Okay, we have to calculate the sales revenue. So, what's happening? How many rooms are we having? We are having 50 rooms. So, let's calculate the total rooms available. Total rooms in a year. Okay, that is, how much do you have? 50 open 365 days a year. 50 into 365. Okay. So, occupancy. So, that will be year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. So year 1, what is your occupancy rate? 50%. Year 2, 60%. Year 3, 75%. Year 4, 90%. So rooms occupied. Year 1, 18,250 into 50%. Year 2, 18,250 into 60%. Year 3, 18,250 into 75%. Year 4, 18,250 into 90. Next, the NPV calculation. So first, let's start with the years. So year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. So we can start with the investment. Investment is happening in year 0. Investment is happening in year 0. How much are we investing? 5.5 million. So 5,500. We'll take it for the thousands plus 1,500. So total investment is $7,000. Next, we can take into account the revenue. So revenue, we have two revenues. One is the restaurant revenue. Second one is the hotel revenue. So your hotel revenue, it's your room cost into the number of rooms occupied. Okay, so that is working one. So we'll put working one over here. So 19,250 into $85. So $85, that's given year one figure or year zero figure, $85. Year one figure or year zero figure. Is $85 year one or year zero? Correct. It's year one. Okay, very simple. Year one. You have said first year. Okay, so that is you don't have to do any adjustment. So next one, year two, that is this into 0.085 into 1.06 for your inflation, the power of. So same thing, we can drag it until 4 to the power of 2. Power of. Okay, okay. So restaurant revenue is what? 35% of your accommodation revenue. Okay, 35% of your accommodation. Alida. Next, what is the next working which we can take? Next, we can take the variable cost. Variable cost. So what's your variable cost? 20% of the total revenue. Okay, so make a plus make a into 20%. 209. Uh, doesn't matter. Udara, if you round it off or keep it as a decimal place, doesn't matter. Why? Because anyway, the examiner can click on this box and check your working. No. So if your working is correct, only they'll give the marks. Doesn't matter if you round it off. You can do whatever you want with it. You can play. Next one, fixed cost. So fixed cost. So variable cost is also 20% of total. Fixed cost are expected to be 4,333,000 in the first year and increase by 4% per year afterwards. That is this into 1.433 to 1.04 to the power of 1. 2 power of next. What's your next adjustment? What should we do next? What's next? Ijaz? Hmm? Tax saving. Yes, we can do the tax adjustment. Okay, we can do the tax adjustment. Let's start with the taxable cash flows. Taxable cash flows. So taxable cash flows. uh, yeah, 405. Drag it. Then what's your tax payment? Tax rate is 20%. Certain students, they will see, okay, in every single question, tax rate is 30%. Therefore, this question also said not like that. It's 20%. So tax is paid in the same year. In this question, they have said tax is paid in the same year, not 1 year in arrears. Okay. So read carefully. Don't make those common mistakes. Students just assume. They just assume and do. All the past 20 questions which I did, tax rate is 30%, tax paid 1 year in arrears. This question also same thing. Don't need to read. I am serious. There are many students who do this mistake. Don't do that mistake. Okay, be very careful. Always properly read. So reading is very important. Give me 1 minute. Microsoft. Honestly, can you hear now? Can you hear now? What did you all miss? Say when you all are messaging, send the message to the meeting group chat. Okay, send the message to the meeting group chat. If not, I won't be able to be wait. Okay, sorry about that. I think the tax saving you also saw it. I didn't explain anything important. Okay, so I was moving on to the working capital adjustment. Okay, so what is your working capital requirements? Working capital requirements. So they have said that it is what percent of sales? 5% of sales. So this one plus this one into 5%. We can drag it. In working capital requirement. So each and every year working capital requirement is increasing. So year one's working capital will invest in year zero. Okay. So in year zero, there'll be an outflow of 52,000. Okay. Year one, already 52,000 is there. We only have to invest the extra amount. So how much is the extra amount? 52 minus 67. Okay. So we can drag this until here. So same thing for year three. You only have to invest the extra amount, and year four, same adjustment. Then in year five, what will happen? We will recover our investment. We will recover our investment in the final year of the project. That is the assumption. Okay. Any other adjustment to be made? Any other adjustment to be made? Tax saving in year three and year four have to be positive. Oh, did I make it negative? Sorry. Anything else? Scrap value. Okay. Scrap value. So scrap value, total scrap value is at the end of year four, 7,500 plus 100,000, which is 7,600. Anything else? Or is that it? HRI, ne? HRI. Okay. So we can find the net cash flows. Net cash flows. So now we have to calculate the NPV. Okay. So what is the rate which we have to use? We have to use the nominal rate. So nominal rate is not given, so that is working for. What is that is working for? So let's calculate the nominal rate. Nominal rate. So that would be what? Nominal rate is your real rate into the inflation. So your real rate is 1 plus 4.8% into 1 plus 5%. Okay, and then you have to subtract 1 also. You have to subtract 1 because 1 plus I, right? So 1 gets subtracted over here. So how much is your rate? 10.4%. Okay. So again, one more common mistake which many of you all are making, you are not linking the cells. Always link the cells. In every single question which I am doing, every single requirement, every single working, my one, everything is linked. So here if I make a change over here, now just if I make a change over here, If I just do this, what's happening? Everything will change. Why? Because it's linked. Okay, so make sure that you're linking the cells. So let's calculate the NPV. This is working for. So just we'll put the rate also here, 10.04%. Okay, equals NPV. Open the brackets. The rate, comma, year 1 to year 4 plus year 0. So what's your NPV? 359,000. Are you there? Understands? Okay. All of you all got this? Yes. Anyone got this value? Arine? Understands? Okay. Shall we move on? Ijaz? Fine. Mine is overestimated by 500,000. Okay. That's why, look, man. I told you, no. Don't focus on the looks. Not the looks. What is inside is what matters. Not what's outside. Okay, look, man. So, if you present your answer like this, if your answer is looking like this, it's enough. The way I have written it, make a ati. This is enough. You don't have to write too much. Okay. So, the way which I have done it, it's more than enough. The working. See, it's in workings are there. This is more than enough. If your answer is like this, you will get directly, you will get another 12 marks. Directly 12 marks you will get. Easy 12 marks, no? Easy 12 marks. This calculation is a piece of cake. It's not a difficult question also. So section C in FM, I'm expecting all of you all to score at least 35 marks. At least 35 marks you should be scoring in FM section C. It's very easy. But did we finish the question? Some people, very, very common mistake. Another common mistake you all are doing is doing half the question and leaving the other half. Okay? You all are not eating half of dinner and leaving the other half no for someone else. No. This also do it fully. What did they ask? Using a nominal terms approach, calculate the NPV, calculated and financial acceptability to Elanco. We have to comment. Comment only. That is 102 marks. You have to comment for 102 marks. Okay. So what is the comment? Online students, what is the comment? Yes, I'm speaking from experience, Lukman. Of course. What is the comment? Ijaz, what is the comment which you have to give? Hmm? Positive NPV. Comment is positive NPV. Even the examiner can look, no, make a positive. Very good. What is the comment? Tell. Ah, exactly. So we have to mention, okay, since the NPV is positive, we have to proceed with the investment. So always remember when you're writing the comment, mention the company's name. Shape again, mention it. So your answer looks much more professional. So let's say Elanco should proceed with the investment since the NPV is positive and therefore It will increase shareholder. Excellent. Done. 12 marks in the back. 12 marks in your pocket. Now, how many more marks do you need? 38 more marks. 12 marks like this. Now, how many more marks? 38 more marks. Can you get? Easily you can get. That remaining 38 marks, Amaruname, you can easily get. Even it will take 30 minutes to do this question. In another 2.5 hours, without can you get 38 marks, you can get. FM paper is not difficult. You can score 9. You can score 90. You can pass easily. You can pass easily. Scoring more than 75 is difficult. If you are scoring more than 75, you are very good student. Okay. So I want all of you all to score more than 75. Just Puluang ne? Shall we go on to the next one? Explain how the approach to NPV appraisal would change if a real term approach had been used. Now here is where students are struggling. Writing part. They don't know how to write the answer. They are allergic to typing. If they see words, words, I can't type, I can't. So don't be afraid to write. You can write in your own words. Grammar doesn't matter. So that day I told in my PMQBR class, grammar and vocabulary doesn't matter. They said some answers to me. Why doesn't matter? I am not saying to forget grade 5 English. They are writing like a grade 1 student. One student sent me the answer. What? If the company uses activity-based budgeting, good for company. They say some good for company. Company is good to use activity-based budgeting. He is writing answers like that. What did he write? Company using activity-based budgeting is good for the company. Company is good if the company is using activity-based budgeting. What is that answer mean? So don't write like that. So I'm saying that you have to write realistic answers. The point should be there and it should be understandable. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be understandable. You should be able to understand. Okay. In order to understand, you have to type it properly. You have to present it properly. After each and every point, leave a space. Write one point, leave a space. Why? Unlimited, no? Word processors, they didn't say, oh, you can only use 5 lines. You can use the full thing if you want. You can write 100 lines also. Okay? And write it clearly. Don't make spelling mistakes. Spelling mistakes is okay. Spelling mistakes is okay. But you all can't write like this. Some people are writing possibility as probability. Take a spelling mistake anyway. You can't write possibility as probability. By spelling mistakes, in possibility, if you miss one S, take a mark. But don't mess it up completely. Okay. So to a certain extent, you have to write your answers properly. Okay. Just because I sir said don't need grammar, don't forget everything and don't write like a 2-year-old. Write a reasonable answer. And another point, write according to the requirement. What they're asking, explain how we will do the calculation if we are using a real-term approach. They said further calculation not required. Certain students, they will do the calculation also show. They will do the calculation also show. Will you get marks for that? No, no marks, 0 marks. They will just see, very less than 0 marks. Yeah, that's what they will do. Okay, so you don't need to do the calculation. So what they are asking, only do that. So they are giving how many marks? 4 marks. If they are giving 4 marks, you have to write for 4 marks. Certain students, they will see 4 marks question and they will write for 10 marks. Even if you write extra, they won't give you extra marks. 4 marks means you will get only. So don't waste the time. Understand, okay, first, when you read the requirement, you have to understand, okay, how much are they expecting me to write? If they have given, okay, 8 marks, per question they have given 8 marks. They are saying, describe the advantages and disadvantages of IRR. Then how many advantages and disadvantages should you write? Unless I'm asking you a question, they are saying, describe the advantages and disadvantages of IRR. How many advantages and disadvantages should you write? Okay. Others, online students, Kalashi Udara. Kalashi. Okkumala Bharati. Okkumala Bharati. All of you all are wrong. 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages. 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages. Why? Because they said describe. They said describe. Describe can you have to describe, you have to explain. Okay, so you have to say, okay, disadvantage of advantage of IRR is a relative measure. Hey Kavitra, not enough. That only saying IRR is relative measure is not enough. You have to say it's a relative measure and you have to explain that statement. Why is it? Why is it being a relative measure an advantage? How is being a relative measure something good? So you have to write two advantages, explain it, two disadvantages, explain it. But on the other hand, if they say list the advantages and disadvantages of IRR, how many should you write? Four advantages, four disadvantages. One word is changing, then the entire requirement is changing, no? If one word changes, entire requirement is changing. So without understanding the requirement, if you try to attempt the question, you all are losing the marks. Understood? These small things. One word change. List, describe. List, describe. If you had written four advantages, four disadvantages, you would have only gotten 4 marks. Why? Because you are not describing it, no? Only 4 marks. Out of 8, you would have gotten only 4. Just because you all wrote extra 2 advantages, they won't give you extra marks. So what you have written, they'll only give 4 marks. So other 4 marks, why did you lose? Not because you don't know the theory, because you can't understand the requirement. So always in every single class, I'm telling you all, Sri Lankan students' main problem is they don't like to read. Allergic to reading, allergic to theory, allergic to typing. If you fix all of these problems, all of the Sri Lankan students will be world number 1. I'm serious. Numbers, everyone gets it correct. Numbers, everyone can do it. Sri Lanka students are very good in numbers. Numbers, 100% everything correct. But when it comes to the theory questions or when it comes to typing, you all mess it up. So please, whatever your weakness is, try to identify that and correct it. Okay. So if you people, what do? They just don't care. They don't care. They just do the question. We can do the exam. They just go and sit for the exam. So if you want to improve, if you want to increase your marks by another 5 or 6 marks, if you want to increase it, what should you do? Sit for the mock exams, identify your weaknesses. Correct. Okay, so let's do this requirement. So tell me, how will it change if we are going to use the real rate to calculate the NPV? How will it change? Yeah, online students. So if you are using a real rate, what cash flow should we use? For real rate, what cash flow should we use? You have to use the not inflated or real cash flows. So in this situation, how will we calculate the real cash flows? In this situation, how will we calculate the real cash flows? Online students, in this situation, how will we calculate the real cash flows? Just without inflating, just take it. We will have to keep the cash flows. We will have to keep the cash flows unaffected with the general rate of inflation, then inflate with the. I think what you said is correct, Lukman, because I can't understand why you're saying unaffected. What do you mean by that? Others, Udara and Kalashi, how do you do it? Ijaz is saying just take the normal cash flows. And this bugger is saying something completely different. He's doing some adjustment. Muda pisuda. Kalashi, Udara, you all don't know. No idea. None at the. No idea. Okay. So, in a question, if they have given both specific inflation and general inflation. In this question, specific inflation is there for fixed cost, specific inflation is there for selling price. And if they have given general inflation, specific inflation and general inflation, how will we calculate the real cash flows? Initially, your cash flow should be inflated. All of your cash flows, selling price, fixed cost, everything should be inflated using the specific rate. Using the specific rate. We will inflate it. We will inflate everything. Step one. After inflating everything, what will we do? We will deflate the cash flows. We will remove the inflation, or we call it deflating the cash flows using the general rate. Using the general rate, we will deflate it. Then only we will get the real cash flows. So this method we are using only when there is both specific inflation and general inflation in the question. If there is only general inflation, we can just take the normal cash flows. Because both specific and general inflation is there, what should we do? First inflate using the specific rate, deflate using the general rate. So any other adjustment is there? Your cost of capital adjustment is there. So when you are using real cash flows, what rate should you use? You have to use the real rate. So only those two you have to mention. Only those two you have to mention. So let's talk about it. Okay. So let's say if a real terms approach is used to calculate the NPV, then real cash flows and the real rate should be used. Okay, that's the general statement. That's a general statement. Generally, for this line, sorry, let me close that. For this line, for this statement, you are not getting any marks. You won't be getting any marks. So, certain times they might give you marks, certain times they won't give you marks. It's just a general statement. Okay. So, next we can mention real cash flows. How are we going to calculate real cash flows? Okay, so we can mention real cash flows are identified or calculated by initially inflating the uh, variables using the specific. Then these figures are then deflated by using the general inflation. Okay. This adjustment is performed due to the fact that both general and specific inflation rates exist. Okay. Next, the cost of. Okay, so we have to use the real rate for the real cost of. So we can say the NPV should be calculated using the real cost of capital 4.8% in order to calculate the NPV based on, well, okay, done. Okay, so this requirement is done. This requirement is done. Shall we move on to the next one? It does other two, other three, sorry, Kalashi, Lukman, and Udara. Okay, next requirement. See, what are they asking? Explain how simulation analysis could be used by Elanco in appraisal of the hotel project and expected benefits of using simulation analysis. Simulation analysis. Okay. Uh, Explain how simulation analysis could be used by Elanco in the appraisal of the hotel project and expected benefits of using simulation analysis. Again, for 4 marks. Okay, so what can we write? Can we write? What is the use of simulation analysis? What can you do with simulation analysis? We can identify which variable to focus on. Online students, what is the benefit of simulation analysis? Understand the relationship. So basically, that's what it means. Okay. So we can say, we can just write down simulation analysis is a tool, or we can say software, which could be used to identify the effect of various changes to the NPV. Okay. So how can Elanco use it? How can they use it? How can they use it? When they say how can they use it, what are they asking? How to use it or how can they use it? What are they asking? So how to use it? How can they use it? Benefits, everything is the same. So we can just mention the benefit because only for 4 marks, no, you don't have to explain too much. We can say simulation could be used to test multiple variables changing at the same time. Unlike sensitivity analysis. Simulation could also help identify which variables Elanco should focus more on, and the data provided by the simulation could also assist Elanco in estimating the probabilities of various outcomes. Anita, anything else? Anything else which we can